Hey guys, so we've been talking about prepositions and identifying prepositional phrases. And remember, a prepositional phrase is a group of words that begins with my preposition and ends with my object. Okay, and the object will usually be a noun or pronoun. Okay, now one thing to know about prepositional phrases is that there are actually two kinds of prepositional phrases. Okay, we've just been kind of identifying all prepositional phrases. There are actually two kinds, and kind of understanding what the different kinds are can really help us in finding our prepositions and prepositional phrases within the sentence. Okay, so the first kind of prepositional phrase I want to talk about is an adjective phrase. Okay, now just like this sounds, an adjective phrase modifies a noun or pronoun. Same as an adjective, that's why it's called an adjective phrase. Okay, it's acting like an adjective, even though it's a group of words instead of just one word. Okay, now similar to our adjectives, you're going to find the prepositional phrases that are acting like adjectives near to the noun or pronoun it's modifying, usually right after. Okay, so for example, Joe is the student with the highest grade. So with the highest grade is my prepositional phrase here. It's acting as an adjective telling me more about student. Okay, so it's modifying that noun student. Okay, now an adverb phrase, just like it sounds, modifies a verb, adjective, or adverb. Okay, and just like with a regular adverb, it's used to tell where, how, or to what extent about the word it's modifying. Okay, and when. All right. Often these phrases will come at the end of the sentence, not always, but a lot of times you'll see a bunch of prepositional phrases all stacked up at the end of the sentence, and those are usually telling us, more information about our verb or another adjective, another adverb, things like that. All right, so example, Megan put her bird in its cage. So in its cage is modifying my verb put, okay? It's telling us where she is putting it, okay? All right, so let's do a little bit of practice and let's just talk about whether each of these examples is acting like an adjective or an adverb. So I've actually underlined the phrases for you. So we're just figuring out adjective or adverb, okay? So let's look at my first one. The boys search the beach for sand dollars, okay? So here I've got to look at my phrase for sand dollars, right? It comes right after beach, but it doesn't really make sense to say for sand dollars is describing beach, right? That just doesn't quite work. So I think it's describing, they're searching, okay? So kind of like how they're searching, or what they're searching for. They're searching for sand dollars, okay? So I'm going to say that this one is an adverb, and I'm going to put AV for adverb, okay? All right, so let's look at my next one. The grass behind the house is dying. So behind the house, all right, looks like it's describing grass, which comes right before it, which is what we'll usually see with adjective prepositional phrases. So it's telling us, exactly, it's giving us more information about that noun, more information about the grass. So, what kind of grass is, it's the grass that's behind the house. So I'm going to say that's an adjective. Okay. All right. A deep ditch was dug near the river. Okay, a deep ditch was dug near the river. So looking at this, it looks like it's telling me where it was dug, right? We're focusing on the action of digging, and digging is a verb, so that means near the river must be an adverb. And again, make sure you're marking this on your paper as well. All right, a pretty girl with brown hair and eyes sat down. Okay, so my prepositional phrase with brown hair and eyes, right, looks like it's describing my girl here, right, which is a noun, which would make this an adjective. Okay, so it's telling us more about the girl. All right, number 5. The 3 contestants listened carefully to each question. Okay, so I want you to take a second and I want you to tell me whether you think this is an adjective or an adverb. Okay, so hopefully you've marked down your answer. So we should have said, all right, that this is an adverb, okay? Because it's telling us how they listened. They listened to each question, okay? So we actually had 2 adverbs there, right? Carefully is a regular old adverb telling us how they listened, and then also to each question, also telling us how they were listening, Okay, doesn't make sense, right, to say that it's describing like contestants or something, because we wouldn't say like the to each question contestants. Doesn't really make sense. Okay. All right, so other things to know just in general about prepositional phrases. When two or more prepositional phrases follow each other, a lot of times they're modifying the same word, or you have a prepositional phrase and then the next prepositional phrase is modifying the object of the previous prepositional phrase. So it's kind of just like a big chain, okay? So like for example, they arrived at the airport on time. So both of these phrases are telling us about the verb arrived, meaning they're both adverb phrases. They are telling us where and when they arrived, okay? Now in this one, Chicago is on the northeast tip of Illinois. We have on the northeast tip as my first one. That's telling us where, and then of Illinois is modifying tip. So it's telling us, the tip of what, right? Now, as many of you have noticed, I noticed y'all struggling with this when we did adverbs and now again when we're doing prepositions. Prepositions and adverbs are really easy to mix up, okay? So many words can be either a preposition or an adverb, okay? But remember, prepositions will always be part of a prepositional phrase and have an object, and adverbs will just be by themselves. So preposition, the bird flew out the window, okay? Out the window is my prepositional phrase with window being its object. Adverb, we went out last night. Okay, so out this time doesn't have an object, right? Last night is just another adverb telling us when we went, okay? So you got to just kind of differentiate between those. Adverbs always are going to have objects, prepositions are always going to have objects, adverbs will not. All right, we'll do some more practice of this tomorrow, and you can let me know then if you have any questions.